As women, we are highly influenced by our relationship with our mother. Whether we like it or not, our mother is our template for being a woman, and we either want to emulate her or we reject her traits, and we develop our personality based on her. She's really the first woman we've ever encountered. And so even if you loved your mother, sometimes we reject the traits of our parent because they don't seem strong or adaptable. So I want you to think about this. Your mother played a certain role in life, and Toni Wolff, she was a colleague of Carl Jung. She developed 4 feminine persona types, and those types I've adapted in my new book, Like a Spark from Fire, to help the modern woman really identify what her types are. Now, Toni Wolff was around during the Victorian time, so women didn't have many roles back then. They were either getting married, they were the mistress, or very few of them became professionals. There weren't a lot of professional roles for women back in those days like they are now. And also the mystic. That's the curanderos, the witches, the mystical women, even the nuns, the spiritual women in the world. So these 4 roles actually are archetypes that we fall into. Now, based on your mother, you basically picked your own way of being, and a lot of it is unconscious. It's really your instincts decided of what you would like to be in the world and what type you want to be. So I'm going to tell you the 4 types and see if you can figure out which one you are and which one your mother is. So the first type is the mother, and the mother is the nurturer. She puts herself last. She's all about the family, about the community. Even if you don't have children, you may be a mother type that wants to make sure everyone's taken care of. Very pleasing personality, and always putting her agenda on the back burner. Her agenda is really the piece of the group. The next type is the lover. Now, she is the free spirit. She really wants to go and have fun. She doesn't want to be tied down to any responsibility. Unlike the mother's very responsible. The free spirit, the lover, goes from relationship to relationship. She is moved by passion. A lot of her decisions are made by passion. She most likely is a creative person, someone who is always changing and looking for adventure. The other type is the professional. We see a lot of this professional type in our work. The professional type is that businesswoman. One of the things about the aspects of the professional type is that she suppresses her emotions. She's in this culture, masculine culture of the corporate world, or even in business, where she has to think more logically, and there isn't room for the freedom of the lover, where she can just go crazy and take time off. And the professional really is one, just like the mother, very responsible, very logical, and she makes decisions from logic versus her heart. So she's very logical, and she needs to really integrate the emotion, but she doesn't let that emotion stop her, get in the way of her success. Very goal-oriented type of person. The 4th type is the mystic. Now, the mystic is very similar to the lover, where the lover is really attached to the earthly pleasures. The mystic is attached to the spiritual pleasures. And so a lot of times, if the mystic isn't taking on a role of a priest or a nun, but someone who has mystic tendencies on a persona level, they tend to do what is commonly called spiritual bypassing. They really reject the world, and they want to be with God. They want to do spiritual work, and a lot of times they get caught up in the spiritual aspect without being grounded in the world, and so they're kind of escapism type of person. And the mystic is a beautiful aspect of women because we are naturally intuitive and even creative in that aspect. But if you're only the mystic, you're leaving out all the other aspects of the feminine types. So the goal really is to embrace all these types in yourself. You may have 1 or 2 that are predominant, and each of these types has a shadow side to them. And again, these are just your persona. They are not who you really are, but they're the patterns of conditioning that drove you to lead these types. And the goal of individuation, as Jung would call it, is to become who you really are. What's underneath that type? What's underneath those conditioned behaviors? What does your soul call for? And then when you do feel that sense of completeness within, those roles all take different aspects. They show up differently, and they're more integrated into your life. So which type are you? Find out, and I'll see you on the next video.